Bonafide Hustler here, and in this video we're going to be discussing some of the best finds and flips that occurred at my antique booth. What's going on, guys and gals? Chris the Bonafide Hustler coming to you live from the inside of my kitchen or my living room or whatever. And we are going to be discussing 5 amazing flips that occurred at my antique booth. So, first of all, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at the Bonafide Hustler. And yeah, you can also get, that's right, it's out, antique booths to bucks. So yeah, what I do basically is I take used items and I put it on places like eBay, my antique booth. I sell things locally. And if you watch my vlogs, you'll kind of figure all that out. But yeah, there's a new guide out that teaches you really the art of flipping things in the antique booth. Go check it out. First link down below, but we'll get to that guide in a second. In this video, we're gonna be looking at 5 really good finds that flipped out of the antique booth. I tried to think about 5 really good ones, and on the top of my head, these are the 5. I tried to locate as many pictures as I could because, you know, I've had the booth for 10 plus years now, and hunting through all these photos, trying to find the exact photos of these flips is very tough, but I did find a good amount. So the other ones, I'm just gonna go to Google Images so I can kind of portray a picture in your head of what this flip was. Okay, so we have the very first one, and that is some Lane, okay? They were coffee tables. We went to a garage sale, my brother and I, and at this garage sale, they had a pile of stuff in the garage. And I noticed in the pile of stuff were 2 mid-century modern Lane tables. And these are authentic, real solid wood from back in the day, Lane tables. And I told my brother, let's go pick those things up. We didn't even come home with them to do any kind of research. And this is where we probably messed up a little bit. But yeah, we took them straight to the antique booth right from that garage sale there. This was probably a vlog from maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And essentially, we tagged them up for, I think one of them we tagged for $225 and the other one we tagged for $275, right around the $300 mark. There was one larger one than the others. And so I'm putting a picture here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I looked forever for those photos, but then again, we wouldn't have shot the photos because we took them straight to the booth. They are on one of my vlogs from back in the day. I could never find it by now. But yeah, these things sold same day. So that's where I think we underpriced them, but they were $1 a piece. And yeah, one sold for like $225 and the other one sold for $275, $300, same day. So yeah, we messed up. The second cool flip was actually bought by somebody in the antique mall, someone that works there that liked it a lot. So this was a Coyote head. I actually did find a picture of this one. And this one was $8. I think it was part of a $50 thing I got at a garage sale. I picked up 4 items at a garage sale. And this one I think ended up being like $8 of that $50. But this was an actual taxidermy head. We call it a mount, right? It was basically the neck, you can see the picture. So this is a Coyote one, which is kind of cool because taxidermy does well in my booth, whether it be deer mounts or something like that I find at Goodwill's or garage sales. But yeah, this one particularly was a Coyote head one. And there was a guy at the antique mall that worked there. He collects taxidermy. He's like, that is such a cool piece. How much do you want for it? I think I was asking about $300 for it. And I believe he offered me $175 or something like that. I think I had a $250 or $300 asking price. Sold it for $175 to someone that worked at the antique mall. That really liked it. He's got a lot of energy and he really wanted it in his collection. But that was a really good flip, you know? The next item was kind of cool. I found this off of a Nextdoor ad. It was classified as an old, I think 1930s, 1940s spotlight. I looked forever for this picture, and I know I could find it if I looked even harder, but this thing was cool. And for the people that watch my channel, they might remember this one, because every now and then I would talk about it. But anyway, this thing sat in my booth for probably, I think 2 or 3 months. It was huge, okay? So there's a town called Lakeway, which is close to Austin, Texas. It's about 20 minutes from my house. And on this Nextdoor ad was this 1930s, 1940s authentic stage, like theater spotlight. But it wasn't one of the ones from the sky, it was one of the ones from the ground. So like it had a huge base, it was made out of iron and all this stuff. And it has, you know, the person stands behind it and they go like this and they move the stage light around to highlight the person that's on the stage, you know? So this was used for actual theater purposes. This thing was $40. It was enormous. I took it directly to the booth because, you know, I don't take big things home like that because you can do on-the-spot research. I tag it right then and there. And this one ended up selling, if I'm not mistaken, for somewhere around $350 for the spotlight. It was really neat, but it would have to have been retrofitted with current lights in it because it had this enormous cord coming out of it, this enormous power bank behind the actual spotlight. And I'm trying to get pictures of it, but this doesn't even do justice, these pictures. This thing was enormous. It was so big, bigger than my torso. It was huge. So imagine that on a tripod, all rustic out. The patina was really perfect. And I bet it ended up in the corner of somebody's house somewhere as a really cool accent, okay? This thing was $40, and like I said, it sold for that $350 mark, if I'm not mistaken. It was right around there, somewhere in that mark. Could have been up to $400, but I think it was $350. I did want to make a deal with somebody that was interested in it because obviously it takes a pretty big footprint in the booth. And when you're dealing with an antique booth, you want to look at everything in kind of a square footage kind of sense. So, everything's got to kind of be working for you if you're going to smoke up a pretty big footprint. That was interesting. Okay, so the next one, I found a picture of a second one that I found, okay? But this isn't the actual picture of it, but this is the second time I found something like this. And in this picture, you see a triple bronze mirror, or it's not really bronze, but it was a ornate gold mirror, bronze finish, and it has 3 mirrors inside. I found this twice, actually. The very first time I found it with e-money. This was probably from a vlog 6 or 8 years ago. We bought this from a garage sale for $40. This sold same day in the booth too. We put it on top of the truck and we brought it to the booth. But the one that you're seeing in the picture is the second one that I found, which happened about a year ago. Now that one had a cracked middle part, one of the mirrors, and so that one ended up selling for, I think, like $150, $175. But the first one that we found, okay, was in great condition. I as well, on the vlog, strap it on top of my 4Runner. We bring it to the booth. It sells same day. I believe I tagged that one up for $350, $400, and it was gone same day. So I probably underpriced that. Anyway, pretty neat. Vintage ornate mirrors sell really well in the booth. Obviously, the market's more there for standalone ones, but these triple ones come around every now and then, and you really have to have the space for that in your house. They're really cool looking, but we sell a lot more of the single ones that are, 40, 42 inches tall, big, thick edges, so that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was a pretty good flip. But that brings me to my favorite flip that I remember. And this one I did cover a fair amount on my social media and on I think I made a garage sale vlog where I pick it up, but it's really unsuspecting in the vlog, and I didn't really realize how much this thing cost. It cost me $1 when I bought it, right? And the second I picked it up from the pile that it was at, I remember the person next to me, because we were kind of hunting around at this like estate sale type thing, and the person next to me, immediately when I picked this thing up, was they said, "Wow, that is really cool." Usually when someone says something like that, it's a really good sign. It's going to do very well. I thought it was going to sell for, $100, maybe $150. Come to find out, this is a vintage ribbed MCM vase. There's a term to it. It eludes me at this moment, but this is the actual picture of the thing. And this one, I believe I took a $535 offer on it. I think I had it listed for $650 at the booth, and I took a $535 or $525 offer for it. I spent $1 on this vase. So that was an incredible flip. So that leads me to the antique booth, which, is a really fun way of making money. I don't really spend a whole time in the booth a month going there. Obviously, I've rigged it up to where I can do drops now, and I just tag things up and I put it in there. So, antique booths take a little bit of time to get started, but they're so much fun. And they feel like near passive income in a way, because I'm not really going there very much. But this year I've made a promise that I'm going to actually go there a whole lot more. And I'm going to try to take, the revenue I make on a typical basis. I'm going to try to, 3 times, 4 times that, but I'm also going to 3 times, 4 times the amount of time I go into the booth. Does it make sense? So I'm going to try it that way. The good thing about the booth is you don't deal with actual physical customers. You're not dealing with you're not dealing with any returns. You're not dealing with shipping any kind of items off. No weird fees or anything like that. There's an 11% commission fee that's been taken by the mall each and every time. I do pay booth rent every month, but there's no weird hidden fees or anything like that. You want to promote your booth, you just put a piece of paper saying 20 or 30% off things in the booth, whatever you want to do. But it's a really fun way to not only still go to garage sales and thrift stores, which is what I do, and I like to do that. But I don't have to pass up certain items, right? There are many items in the booth, for example, that sell more than eBay prices. I don't have to pass up suede jackets. I don't have to pass up Western vests, that might ordinarily sell on eBay for maybe only $40 or $35. I can put that on the booth for $50, $45, and I'll get it. So the booth is a really interesting way to make money. It's a lot of fun. And so I created Boost to Bucks and it's only 3 more days on the intro week discount. It just dropped yesterday. So if you're watching this video right now and you're intrigued and you want to kind of look down that path, this guide's going to tell you how to scope for the right kind of booth, how to outfit it, how to manage it, and it's also going to give you 50 items on things that you should be buying and looking for to put in your booth. So yeah, Booths to Bucks is a great guide, it's a great resource, and if it's piqued your interest, you know, the antique booth or the antique mall and the whole thing, good for you because it's a lot of fun, and go check out that. It's the first link down below. There's 3 more days on the intro week discount. So yeah, hope you pick it up. But yeah, we'll see what else sells in the booth, and we'll be covering a lot more of it this year. And if you have any questions, put it on the comments below. And I'll see you on the next Bonafide Hustler video. Take it easy. Goodbye.